I may hate drama in my life, but I love talking about the drama in yours.
I may watch too much reality TV, but you're listening to me talk about it. Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
I'm Funmi.
I'm B.
And you tuned in to RealiTEA-V, where we are bringing reality to reality TV.
Yes, yes, yes. Thanks for joining us for another week. And all that good stuff. So we're pretty ready to dive on in. How's life?
Life is great.
Mm-hmm.
My 30th birthday is in 10 days.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I feel like, sometimes your birthday comes up, you kind of reflect on your life thus far.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is the first birthday where I'm like, I really feel comfortable in where my life is at this point. Mentally, physically, in a sense, like I'm not in pain.
Right.
Of course, I'm gonna lose some weight, but who the fuck doesn't?
Right.
But especially emotionally and spiritually, just being okay with self.
Well, that's good. That's always great.
Things of that nature. So I'm pretty excited and all that. How are you doing, B?
Oh, life's good. Life's great. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. So, yeah.
Any interesting things happened to you this week for some idiots?
No. Yeah. It's been a pretty idiot-free week.
Idiot-free week.
Yeah.
Well, I had a little bit of a situation this morning.
Oh.
Once again at my son's school. And so this time, I already talked about the little roundabout where you can just drop your kids off and just kind of drive off.
Yeah.
So there's buses that also park there. They have a stop sign that sticks out. You're supposed to stop. Well, the bus is behind me.
Right.
And I'm behind another car. So, tell him I could buy some alcohol. Yeah, have a good day. School, be good, behave.
Mm-hmm.
And he's literally like closing the door, and the lady, the administrative person, was like waving at me. I'm like, so I put the window down. She was like, "There's a bus behind you." I said, "I know." Like,
right?
She's like, I'm trying to drop off my child.
Obviously.
She's like, "Well, I'm just trying to say it nice." I'm
say
like,
what nice?
What do you need to tell me? The bus is behind me. Are you telling me that to move out of the way so it can be 15 feet closer to the entrance of the gate?
Right.
Because that's how close I was. But I was parked behind somebody else.
Right.
Waiting my friggin' turn. I kind of rolled my eyes and like that. What was the point of doing all of that?
Yeah.
To tell me that I'm in front of a bus. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can see in my rearview mirror what's going on behind me. So.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, but I didn't get any other, moments.
Yeah.
It was a lot of craziness this week.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys, I'm eating my chocolates. Where do we fucking begin?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just try to go in chronological order. Which was last Tuesday, which was Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. Not that much happened.
Yeah.
I know Erica was talking about releasing her book.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the situation that happened with her and her dad.
Yeah.
Or biological father, wherever her terminology is. And how he wasn't really there, and which is something I guess it's kind of rare when it comes to women of a certain status.
Yeah.
You don't really hear someone who's worth millions say that their dad wasn't around. Yeah. But I guess it's really relatable that some people can connect to her with. Yeah. Especially being that she's labeled as cold.
Yeah.
And heartless. And I don't know. Have you really looked into the new one? Any opinion on her?
Oh, the new girl. Yeah, no opinion on her. I don't.
It's better than nothing. Negative.
Yeah, I guess. yeah, I know it's only been on a few episodes, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's only been like 3. Yeah. I think the 4th one is coming on tonight.
Yeah, so she hasn't really done or said anything for me to form like anything negative about her. No. So far, she seems cool.
Mm-hmm. I can appreciate that she tries to get to know everybody on her own accord. Yes. And she kind of does see Dorit for who she is. Mm-hmm. Rather quickly. Yeah. And that's only because she just spent time with her and just kind of see how she is in front of people, behind people, talk about people. Yeah. All that kind of stuff. But, yeah, wasn't that much on Beverly Hills that needed to discuss. Yeah. However, good old fucking Catfish.
Oh, yes. Just came back on.
Yeah, it came on the 2nd of January, but I barely watched and caught up with it. Yeah. The first 2 episodes. But let me tell you, MTV, you guys did such a good job with the first episode. Yeah. Like, it was such a roller coaster. It's like, you know what's going to happen. Neve and Max read an email, talk to the person from the email, meet up with them, gather the information from that person. They go off and do their investigation, go back, try to get in contact with the catfish, fly out to the catfish if it's out of town, and then they kind of have a confrontation. Right. That's every single episode is the same way. Now this episode, some things changed. So we had a boy. Excuse me, I don't remember all their names. He emailed Neve and Max because his mom is in a relationship with someone online. Never met him. Never seen a picture of him. No, I think she did have a picture of him. Yeah. But didn't have too many things that were, like, tangible. Right. And so, Neve, the mom was like, I don't want nobody in my business. Stay in my business, kind of say. But he's always said, like, she's always been in really bad relationships. Yeah. So she's worried, concerned. He's a man of the house, even though he's 17, which I understand. Mm-hmm. You know, a boy wants to protect his mother, or a man wants to protect his mother. And so Neve and Max, they kind of FaceTime, and she comes in, and she didn't believe him. She's like, oh, it's Neve. She's like, are you fucking for real? You really did it? Like, it's just like, yeah, Mom, like, you over here. So Neve and Max go to the house, and for like 5 or 10 minutes, they're talking, discussing things. And she's like, can I talk to you in private? I said, oh, okay. What's going on already?
Sign number 1 that something's off.
So what had happened was she didn't tell her son that she's actually a catfisher.
She's a catfisher doing the catfishing, but don't want to get catfished in return.
So, and I'm like, first I was really confused. Yeah. Like, you're the catfisher? Like, what? So apparently she's concerned about the guy that she's seeing online being a catfisher, but she took someone else's picture and had been portraying herself as that person the whole time. So she was being a catfish. Do you know this bitch had the audacity to say that if the guy she was seeing wasn't the person that was in the picture, she would not stand for it. She said, not on my watch. And she was like, I like my man to look a particular way. And if it's not in this picture, then I don't want any of it. And Neve is like, but you're a catfish. Like, you don't even look.
You accept me for me.
That's what.
But he better look good. But the gag is like, when the other catfisher came to fruition, his looks was not so up to par. However, the catfisher was her ex from years ago.
It's a lot more than that. Yes, it's a lot more than that. So there's a lot in between because they had to find out what was going on with the person. Yeah. So when they did the research, they find out that the guy in the picture had been to jail and had multiple mugshots.
Okay.
So she didn't know that he ever went to jail. She asked him, and he said no. So she was all upset because he went to jail. They reached out to a friend of, there were 2 profiles with this person's name.
Yeah.
One seemed, kind of dead. The other one seemed more lively, whatever. Yeah. So they reached out to a person on his birthday. She said, yeah, that's him. He's been in and out of jail and things of that nature. So they go back to her and explain, that he's been in jail and things of that nature. So this is the next point where they call the catfish. Like, hey, this is Neve and Max.
Yeah.
From the MTV show Catfish. We just wanted to know if you wanted to meet up. Do you know your friend, blah, blah, blah? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, we wanted to know, see if you guys can finally meet and get to know each other. He's like, well, yeah, I just have a lot to say, tell her, which is what they all say.
Right.
And he was like, well, I just want to ask you, have you ever been to jail? He was like, you know what? That's just a part of my life I don't want to talk about. I just don't want to talk about that. He was like, okay. So this is where really, really,
Put
really...
that on a job application.
Right?
That's just
I just don't really want to talk about that. I'm trans crime, trans conviction, trans criminal. I do not and will not.
I do not identify by that, and you will not put me in that box.
We're not trying to make fun of trans. It's like we saw this clip about somebody talking about they were trans debt and they didn't want to owe student loans. Yeah, so we're just saying.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like I don't identify with that. But so Neve and Max go to their hotel. Like, okay, we're going to go to Texas.
Yeah.
And go find your man.
Right.
They get up, and I'm clapping my hands. They get to the hotel, and they're like, who is that? They're like, isn't that the man for the pictures? And then Neve and Max look at each other. He was like, oh, you Telly? He was like, yeah. He was like, but I thought you were in Texas. He was like, man, I don't live in Texas.
Okay.
So the girl that they hit up and that responded to them told him what was going on. I don't know how the fuck he found out what hotel they were in, but he showed up. Well, I don't even know how he got in contact with production that fast.
Good, yeah.
But he showed up trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. So the catfish is still
sending messages.
The male catfish, because there are 2 now. He's like, nah, I don't live in Texas, never been in Texas.
But we don't find.
He was like, nah, that ain't me. So they call girl. Hey, girl, Tally's up here at the hotel with us. We just want to let you know, that picture, that ain't him. That's not the catfish. That's not the person you've been talking to.
Yeah.
So they finally get to Texas. She's all nervous. Oh, my God, I'm so nervous.
I mean, your only hope is to pray that he finer than the dude in the picture, because it's been established that he ain't the dude in the picture. So you better lower them standards real quick.
Okay, I'll get to the next thing I'm going to say in a minute. So Neve goes up to the door, knock, knock, knock. He's like, oh, someone's moving inside.
He always get a little too close to doors, Neve. You get a little too close.
Remember Charlamagne was like, you don't be walking up in black people's houses like that. But anyway, he's like, someone's moving inside. And then he comes out and she was like, are you serious? Oh my God, are you serious? That's my ex-boyfriend. Now, these 2 dumbasses were being catfishers and catfishing each other and did not know that they were catfishing each other.
I didn't think about that part. Like, wait, she was
That's why it was like, okay, wait.
So they both were surprised.
They didn't know.
I thought, and I didn't put both 2 and 2s together. I thought she was a catfisher, obviously. Yeah. But I thought he was like, I'm about to get my woman back. So he catfishing her.
No.
But I didn't even connect the dots.
Negative, bitch. Negative.
That's fate. That is God saying y'all need to be together. That is Cupid. That is, I did not. When you told me, I didn't.
Yes, they did not know.
And
he like, oh hell no, and she like, oh my god, like
mind blown.
And so he was like, yeah, that's the one who had babies on me. So apparently, there's a few bullet points we have to go through now. Bullet point number 1. He had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 kids on her.
Oh my God. So he fucked up.
He was hoeing all up and down. I think they were in Cincinnati. All up and down. He was like, yeah, he hurt me. Oh my God. Like, she's a target. She said, I gotta go. She went in the car and cried. Number 2. So you remember how she was like, well, I need my man to look a certain type of way. This man, and I'm not really trying to make fun of him, but because this is a audio podcast, I have to put a visual on it. He looked like a Ninja Turtle with glasses. A chocolate Ninja Turtle with glasses.
You know, cuz she done had her heart broken by an ugly motherfucker. When she said never again, it's only fine.
I said, so this whole time, you over here talking about, I need my man to look a certain type of way. But he gonna have to accept me for who I am.
That's not a part of her life she likes to talk about anymore. She only deals with the bad and bougie.
And so it was just like, and then Max, messy ass, he said, well, this is just fate. Like, this is meant to be.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So this whole time, for a year,
star-crossed lovers,
a fucking year, they have been, so pretty much, they were catfishing each other, didn't know who the other person was.
Two of a kind.
But they wind up being the person that the other person wanted back when they were in a relationship. So he was like, well, when they met up the next day, because they always meet the next day, then kind of after emotions have settled and all that. He was like, well, what did you like about Telly that you wish Ninja Turtle would have had back when y'all were together?
Right.
Well, he was kind. He was nice. He really cared about me and blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, well, Sandra, that was, I guess, the catfish name. I'm just going to pick a name. She was, she was just always there for me. And, she just, just real good woman. It really wasn't that much to where it was like the other person could have had better qualities or whatever. But yeah, that's why it was such a bombshell first episode of a new season.
Wow.
Because it was just like, wait, what the fuck? She catfishing people, didn't tell her son. Then she finds out the person in the picture that's not the person she's talking to. Mm-hmm. Then she finds out, okay, that officially she's been catfished. And then but it's like, that's what both y'all get for lying.
Yeah, it's what both of y'all get. And maybe people just still want to go on Catfish, but I'm trying to figure out, how is catfishing still happening? And watching the show through the years has definitely made me realize that there are, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but there are some very lonely people out there. Mm-hmm. And it's even more sad when those very lonely people get taken advantage of. And it's just like, man, like, all you're looking for is like companionship, love. And then you just have some people out here that's just like, yeah. And you just have some people out here that's just like, yeah, I will just, use you for whatever I can get to make myself feel better. Or for whatever. And I don't know. It's really sad. And, people, if you're doing online dating, you need to set up some, FaceTime calls, we need to meet in person, something. Like, how are y'all going on? That's the part that gets me. It's not even the whole you meeting someone online part. It's, how have you been talking to someone for 2 years? You guys talked about marriage, said you loved each other, but y'all have never seen each other.
And they have the audacity to say things like, I need my man to look a certain type of way.
Yeah. And then y'all be sending people money and just, it's like, okay. It's
oh my God. Out of the shows I've actually watched, because this is like the 7th season. Yeah. Out of all the episodes I watched, I think the one person that said the most was like over $1,000 worth of stuff. And like bills. And just.
It's like crazy.
Ridiculous.
So, and it's like, you know, you could do you might not get the exact answer of who you talking to, but you could do some of that research on your own. It's
not hard.
It really ain't.
I know. I've definitely been like, oh, he cute. Let me see if he on Instagram.
Right. It's
and show me his true self. But we live in an age where what it seems like or looks like on the outside is what people are going to portray. And no one wants to be their true selves anymore. Yeah. And it's really irritating.
Yeah, I think in the history of Catfish, I think there's only 2 couples that are actually still together. And they actually weren't lying.
I remember the one where it was like the younger white couple. Yeah. That were on the East Coast. Yeah. Then the one that was in Huntington Beach. Yes. You remember that one? Yes. But he was kind of iffy. Yeah. But she met his dad and everything. Yeah. And then I want to say it was like a bigger couple. But it's very like few.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't think there's more than 5 couples that have been like...
In the history of Catfish, no.
There hasn't been 5, so out of 7 seasons, each season is at least 10 episodes.
At least.
So in the 70 to 80 episodes maybe that have aired, there has only been 2 to 4 couples that either were not lying to each other at all, and they were legit people, and people really just didn't have, you know... a camera phone to chat.
I remember. Yes, another one. Remember the dark hair short one? There was like in a band or something like that.
I think so.
That one.
That was like first season or second season.
It was one of the earlier seasons. Yeah, and they met on Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't really. Just start doing your own research. That's all I can say.
Well, yeah, so many people, and then most of the people who like didn't like video chat and all that kind of stuff, they really did not have cameras. Right. They might have some old ass flip phone. Right. They never really got into technology or anything like that, or they
are the exception. But the rule is
he's just not that into you, she.
Yeah, or
to be
they're not even
honest. I don't want if I'm. Most of the time, the catfisher is like down about themselves in some kind of way. They're like, well, you're not going to like me for who I am, the way I look, but you're going to like my personality. And I hope that that's what can really draw. And to me, to a certain extent, not everyone, but to a certain extent, to some people, that's just desperation. Yeah. You're just being desperate for someone to say that they like you or care about you or appreciate you. Yeah. It's like a lot of these people have to really be happy with themselves and not have somebody else to be like, oh, well, you know, I didn't feel beautiful until I met him. It's like, first of all, he didn't make you feel beautiful. He made that picture you beautiful. Right. Like, that's not the same thing. But then you have some catfishers that's just like, you should never call me a fat ass Kelly Price.
Right. I'm just doing this to fuck with you.
Right. But she did say that she originally made up the catfish to spy on a different ex-boyfriend.
And then when you called me a fat ass Kelly Price, I shifted my attention to you. I wonder if Kelly Price is somewhere like, Lord, I have lost weight. Like, why are y'all even?
She need to be like, need leaks to put on a shirt. Yeah, I was fat. So now y'all still talking about me and what? Right. But the second episode wasn't as captivating. Yeah. But it was like they met in a chat room. I'm like, who does chat rooms anymore? Remember those AIM chat rooms?
Oh yeah.
R.I.P. to AIM.
Yeah.
Died December 15, 2017.
Yeah, man.
Didn't you try to log in your AIM?
I didn't even know where to look to even try. I was like,
I know there were some people like, let me try to log into my AIM real quick before they like officially kill it. I didn't even know it was still around. Yeah. Anyway, that was a little sidebar. So the second episode was just more of, I met this guy in a chat room and it just, I just have, that's right. This girl was having a problem with her parents, but she was having a problem with her parents because she was doing dumb shit online. So they didn't trust her. So what does a friend recommend? Go online and find somebody.
Go online, they said. Meet somebody, they said.
Okay. So she never video chatted, never talked to them on the phone, nothing. Yeah. So the part that I laughed my ass off was because the picture... And I'm not saying that she's ugly. I'm not saying that she would ever get somebody that in the picture. But for me as a big girl, if I see somebody online and I see a certain picture, I'm going to be like, I need to make sure you. Because you ain't about to sit up here with these abs and think that I believe that these abs are the people from the person that I'm talking to. You need to FaceTime me right now and then we can continue.
Right.
But I guess, I don't know. You just have to protect yourself at the same time.
I don't know. I feel like certain people with certain pictures, it's like not trying to say that you would not be online or, you can meet somebody online. But certain people, it's like, you should have did your research. Did you really think that this girl that's a model all over everywhere and got like 3 million followers just randomly hit you up and was like, hey, how are you? And now
nothing beats the bitch who thought she was talking to Bow Wow.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Perry. Yeah. Katy Perry, Bow Wow, and they had like a special edition crime one.
Oh yeah. She catfished like 5-6 people. What happened?
She was in Canada.
Yeah, former Denver Nuggets player had ended up getting investigated for like rape, statutory rape and stuff. It was crazy. But yeah, she ended up going to jail. And I know she went to jail in Canada and they like, if you ever bring your ass to the US, you getting got.
Yeah, because she was never processed or indicted in the States.
Yeah.
And she lived in some boonies in Canada.
It's not the Drake Justin Bieber.
No, it ain't the 6. This ain't the 6 at all. But anyway, what was I getting back to? So she I would have checked. And I've had to, and it wound up being the person. I said, all right, well, you don't like you some chocolate, thick chocolate or whatever. So when they do that investigation, Neve was like, what if you just type in hot boy with abs? And everybody, production, cameraman, everybody just started busting up laughing. And he was like, well, I don't really do this on my regular time, like my personal.
I don't want this popping up on my Google.
Right.
Hot boy with abs.
Just the catfish laptop,
right.
nothing
Your
else.
wife was like, why were you searching hot boy with abs?
Why the fuck were the first 3 pictures after that picture that she had about him? I said, see, and they started busting up laughing like, he's like, this is probably the laziest catfish we've ever dealt with.
Hot boy with abs. Catfish somebody and I'm going to type in hot girl with bundles. It's just going to be pictures of me.
Just hair blowing in the wind. What you going to name her?
I don't know.
Tanya.
Something like Topanga or something.
Really? Topanga? You're going to go with Topanga?
Right. She had bundles.
They were hers.
I know. Queen of bundles. Authentic bundles.
And then come to find out it's some socially awkward person. She was 20, he was 19. Even when Neve tried to call, it went to voicemail, but then he texted him. He said that. He was like, I don't like talking on the phone. Yeah. Talking on the phone makes you nervous. I don't like talking to people. He was just like socially awkward.
Really? Yeah.
And it was just, But that episode wasn't as intense as the first one. The first one was like,
oh my God.
I haven't seen an episode like this in so long.
Yeah.
But they pretty much said this season is like the catfishing is worse, the investigation is longer, and all that kind of stuff.
Not that episode, but the other ones.
Right.
Hot boy with the ass.
Oh my God, that was like, how lazy can you be? Right. Oh, before I forget. So the chat room, Neve's wife suggested, because she's kind of on there giving advice or like what to do or whatever. And she said, well, why don't you run the number through the chat backwards?
Yeah.
They ran the number through and they found 12 different profiles.
You ain't that damn socially
under one number. And he swore up and fucking down that it wasn't me. Like, he was just like, it's not me. I don't know who those are. They were like, well, this is your opportunity to be honest. If you want her to stay around, possibly, after lying, then you need to be honest. He was like, it wasn't me. Girl, why they video chat 2 months later? I have a confession to make. He was like, hold on, let me go get her. Right. Because they had already talked to her. He was like, I just wanted to let you know, I was just really nervous and stuff at the time, but those profiles were me. So you sitting here and you creating 12 profiles with boys with abs.
You seem like the most socially person.
Right? Just social on the computer, behind a phone or something. Like when it comes to face, he ain't messing with it. And he was like, well, I just hope I can stay in your life and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you just lied to me, right?
Hot boy with ass. Should have been called cold boy with the belly.
I'm going to be a black girl with no stomach. The fuck? It's so stupid. I'm like, this is what you get. I mean, I know I've been going through my little dating profile, so I'm like, this is what the fuck you get. If you still like it, hit me the fuck up. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and portray me being something that I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm here.
This is me.
I like chicken.
Okay, next.
Who doesn't like chicken, though?
No, you could have just said like a creme brulee or something. Chicken.
I actually never tried creme brulee.
Me neither. I was just, putting it out there.
I'm trying to get to this Gordon Ramsay restaurant so I can get a beef Wellington.
Ah, yes.
The good one. I know they have it on that Tasty app. I'm like, I don't know about this one. I need the real deal. Right. I'm like, this don't look like the way Gordon does it.
Right.
Moving on. Good old Little Women Atlanta.
Ooh, yes.
This is B's favorite, so I'm going to let her go ahead and tell us.
Okay, well, I know we haven't talked about them since the premiere, but just like, the few things that have really stood out as of late, Money finally came to an agreement with her son's father over their custody issue. The past few seasons, she had been really wanting her son to move to Atlanta to be with her, but her son's father, who's in Texas, is like, well, you can have him for breaks or weekends or anything like that, but, he's needs to be here. So after going back and forth, she finally talked to her son. He's a teenager, and he says, he was like, I love you, but he was like, I would just really like to stay here. I don't want to leave my friends and things like that. When you're a teenager, your friends is everything. So she tried to call him and be like, I know he put him up to that. And so after them talking, she was like, okay, I can finally, understand where he's coming from. And that was good that they were finally able to get on the same page. But as a person, I grew up with my grandmother. So
how did that happen in the first place?
Yeah, I think she moved to Atlanta to get herself together, and so she had been saying that he had said once she got settled in Atlanta, D2, that's the name of her son, could come and stay with her. And then she was like, well, now he's backpedaling. But as a kid, when I was a kid, when I lived with my grandmother, I used to love to see my mom, spend time with my mom, everything like that.
But go back the fuck home.
But had it would have came to points where it was like, well, do you want to leave and come stay with me? The only thing that probably would have made me be like, I want to go stay with my mom is if the Backstreet Boys themselves was living in that house.
Such extremes.
Well, because it was just I got so comfortable with my life as it is it was to the point where it was like, yeah, you are my mom, and I know that I should want to live with you, but here is home. Mm-hmm. So, you know, parents, like, when you kind of let your child go and, like, live with their other parent in another state or city, and you're like, well, in a few years, they can come live with me. It's like, you got to realize,
that simple. No.
Yeah, a kid, just because they're a kid doesn't mean that they don't grow roots of their own. So you think they're just going to be like, all right, well, I'm going to just come and go move to this new state. Like, no, it's not going to be that easy.
No, not at all. Especially when it comes to certain people building relationships and bonds and stuff like that. Because my mom was around, my dad was around, but I ultimately lived with my grandma all the time. So if my mom got her own place, the likelihood of me going over there, low. Like, my grandma's house is my home. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, you know, my friends is here. And then he was like, well, staying in Texas, he was still near all his cousins. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, you know, you kind of just have to, I guess, take that loss. So, yeah. So that was that. Mm-hmm. On a slightly, let's see, before we get to the messiest part.
Right.
Andrea is pregnant again. From the, you know, Tiny Twins. Yeah, by her baby daddy, Chris. So far, he has not walked out yet. So we're going to hope that.
Yet.
Yeah, sadly.
Hasn't he walked out one time per child?
Yeah, each time. And left her with the kid by herself. The second one, I believe he left when their newborn was like a couple weeks. Was like, I can't do this. I'm going to Texas. Like, really? You just... Okay. So, yeah, best of luck there. And then she, they had their, her daughter's birthday, and her parents were there, and he's one of those types that's like, if you're going to say something that I slightly don't agree with, I don't want to hear it. I don't want you talking to me because you're attacking me. So after everything that he's done to her, of course, her parents is looking at him like, I don't really like you. Yeah. So he goes to the birthday party, and he's like sitting at a different table and like doesn't even speak to her parents and stuff. And it's like,
rude.
It's like you don't want to fully face the consequences of what you've done. Like, you feel like, okay, well, me and her made up, so I don't really have to make up with anyone else. Which, to an extent, that is true. But her family, especially her parents, you have to expect that they're not going to welcome you with open arms. Because if somebody did that to your daughter, you're not going to welcome them with open arms.
If you don't respect the parents, how you really expect him to respect her if she's allowing that to happen?
Very, very true. So
I wish somebody, my daddy?
Right.
You don't need me to say nothing. My dad will give you the facts and what he needs to say right away. But I'm there going to be like, yeah, what my daddy said.
That's what he said.
Even with my 30-year-old ass. Like, yeah, you heard what the fuck my dad said. Yeah, I wish you would.
Yeah.
So.
Right is right. Wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
You kind of just need to face the music of what you did. Like, you can't be a fuckboy and then think when you come around and you don't have no fuckboy tendencies, it's like everybody done forgot. Like, no, people still remember what you did, and now that she's pregnant again, people looking at you like, well, you gonna walk out again?
Right.
And you can't get mad at nobody for thinking it.
At all.
Because you've done it twice.
But she keeps, and I always go back to her because she always consistently allows it. Okay, he's trash for doing it. He's trash for leaving you. He's trash for like getting you pregnant and just like bouncing wherever the fuck he wants to. But at the end of the day, you keep allowing yourself to get pregnant. You keep allowing him to be able to leave. You keep allowing him for him to come and stay. And you keep allowing him to impregnate you. And
this last season, she left to go back to Texas to find him.
Wow.
And brought him back to Atlanta. I'm like, okay.
So she wastes all her time, energy, and money.
Left out of her apartment, didn't tell her sister or nobody, just like up and left.
With the kids and just bounced.
Mm-hmm. And then like one of her oldest son, he doesn't even live with her. He lives with the grandparents because he had his, I forgot what he has, but he's a special needs child. So her parents is like, well, we can take care of him. And so it's like, even if you may not really like them right now because you feel like they gonna get in your ass, they are still taking care of your child full time. So you should still be showing them the most respect at all times. Like, even if you don't want to speak, you should still be like, hello, how are you doing? Like,
that's just has to be the biggest pair of balls any man can have.
Exactly. And first off, it's like, okay, I understand, Andrea, she's a little person and it might be a little too much for her, but it's like, but you're still a grown-ass man.
Right.
Like, why can't the two of y'all come together?
Because they both act like children.
Yeah.
They both act like children, and they both need... They don't need to be together. She needs self-esteem classes.
Right.
Or something like that. He needs how to be a man classes.
Yeah. Because even in his demeanor, it's like you're like a little boy.
You're like, man,
stop.
why you always talking to me like that? Come on, man.
I don't need this.
I don't need to. I'm going back to Texas.
And literally go pack your bag. Like, but you have 2 kids.
How the fuck is he affording these flights to Texas? Left and right.
Well, it was speculation that there was a woman waiting on him in Texas. Because they were like, why is that for some reason? They were like, why is that always the place he goes to?
It's so easy. If he didn't really have a place to stay like that, besides being family, he wouldn't be able to go to Texas so easy. So I would not be surprised if there's some woman saying, anytime you have a problem or you need somebody, I'm here, the door's open, and he know that option is there.
Right.
And he leaves.
Mm-hmm. And then, so that's with that. And then... Of course, right now, the biggest thing is Tanya. She finally gave birth to her baby. So congrats on that. However...
on that, but bitch, I got other things to say. Let me get the good stuff out.
Okay, your baby came. Glad, okay, baby's safe and well and here in the world. However, she went as so far as to say... that everybody, when she had the baby, was like, oh, we want to come see the baby. We want to come see the baby. So she ends up being like, no, I don't want that energy because they're all just too much and blah, blah, blah. And it's like...
You're too much.
Yeah, for one, you're too much. You're always sitting here talking about other people and their energy. But it's like, you cheated on your first baby daddy with the second baby daddy. And then when the second baby daddy didn't want to be in a relationship with you, now your first baby daddy, you're back with him, and he's playing stepdad to your third baby. But you need positive energy.
That is the messiest bullshit that I have heard in so long.
It ain't messier than what Miss Juicy hit her with.
What? So let the tea sippers know. What? See, look, Miss Juicy... is one of the person from all these reality TV shows who's like, we have to have this one person on the show.
Yes.
This person's not on the show, it might die.
Yeah.
And Miss Juicy, go ahead and let them know what Miss Juicy said.
And so before we get to why everyone is like, wait, why haven't we seen the baby? Because she's sitting here, I don't want people's energy around me. But Money was there for her consistently, coming to her house, checking on her. Money was supposed to be there with her while she had her home delivery. They had threw a baby shower for her. They threw a gender reveal party for her. Like, these girls have been there throughout the whole process. And now that your baby's here and you got your third baby daddy, well, your second baby daddy, to step up and play
father of all.
Yeah. Now you're like, well, I don't need that negative energy. But you needed them at a certain point in time.
Right.
So when they throw a dinner for her, and they all realize, like, wait, we thought we all hadn't seen the baby, but only certain people have. And she had ended up repeating that she didn't want people of certain energy. So she gets there, and so Miss Juicy's like, whoa, can we see a picture of the baby?
Can we get that at least?
So she pulls out a picture, And Miss Juicy is like, well, I think the baby looked like 3 people. The baby looked like Tanya, Vaughn, and Nico. All 3 of them. She was like, wait, why are you going to say that? Why are you going to say it? He was like, you was sleeping around with Nico, who is the baby daddy, threw him out in the
cold.
And the next night, you had Vaughn back over there. You can't tell me that baby ain't sprinkled.
Not sprinkled. Sprinkled with what? Glitter? Like what you need?
Sprinkled with glitches of both men's sperm.
Oh my God. My messy ass.
Oh my God. And usually I would have been like, that was over the top. However, Tanya fully deserved it.
She really did.
Like, she's one of those people that tries to really turn her head up at her nose up at people and is like, you're just so this, you're just so that. But it's like, you got the messiest situation out of everyone.
I don't know anybody.
Times 2.
In LA, in Vegas, in the country that I know personally or know a friend of a friend who is in that messy of a situation. Mm-hmm. It's highly, highly messy, highly ratchet, highly ghetto, and just straight up bullshit. And the way she acts pisses me off. She feels like everything is owed to her. Yeah. Like, you are my child's father, so you're the father of one of my children, so you need to take care of all of my children because I am busy and I am a woman and I am doing things. So you need to do your part.
Girl. Well, she got first baby daddy to step in and be that person. So I was like, that's just so sad because he is a good man. And they even said on the reunion, they was like, Nico is really the person that she wants to be with. You're only here because she couldn't get that situation to work out.
Because he want no parts.
Yeah, it's not even like, we've really grown and we've worked things out. Now we're just happy. It is clearly, I can't be with this one. So you're all nice enough, willing to come and help me, and you accept my other 2 kids. So, you'll do. That is clearly what it is. And then it says something because it's like, she cheated on the first baby daddy, Vaughn, with Nico.
Yeah.
And then a year or 2 later, her other kid is by Nico. She wasn't going back and forth with you. She was going back and forth with him.
Yeah.
You was just the nice guy that was like, okay. Which sucks because y'all be the nice guys that get really taken. Because I'm pretty sure if Nico came back to her tomorrow, like, okay, I do want to be in a relationship. Let's just be a family. She gonna kick you to the curb and move him right back in.
Right.
And then gonna be like, well, he's the father of 2 of my kids, so he should be. I guarantee you. I guarantee it.
She's a messy person.
Yeah. So shout out for Miss Juicy for that messiness.
Calling out the sprinkle babies.
It was so deserved. It was so deserved.
And she had so much might. As if she was in the church. You cannot tell me that baby ain't sprinkled.
I tried to get the emotions, but I couldn't because it was so funny because you knew what was coming out her mouth.
You threw him out in the cold, and the next day.
Just like somebody's grandma. And the next day.
She said, "Oh, that baby look cute. He looked like Tanya, Vaughn, and Nico." She's like, "No, she looks like Tanya. She's like, "Bitch, no. Look at all 3 of y'all. Just messy boots." But you know what? She deserved every last second of that. Cause
I'll be tuning in next week.
Right. It comes on
Wednesdays.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Moving on to Jersey.
Yes.
Real Housewives of New Jersey. Now, it was a finale. Reunion comes on tomorrow. Of course, this this whole finale was centered around, it's usually an event that's centered around the finale. This particular event was Margaret's 50th birthday. Mm-hmm. Now, Margaret looks fucking good to be 50 years old. Because she had her dress on. She didn't even have Spanx on. She looked pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I was just so annoyed with the fact that when Margaret reached out to Siggy to invite her, Siggy made it seem like she was excited and happy to go. But in all the while, she was just really talking shit about the fact that she didn't want to go. And then first she said she didn't want to go because she's not cool with Margaret. So it's like, but if you're cool with Margaret, why would you tell her pretty much like, can't wait, see you there? So that was bullshit.
Right.
Then she says she only went because she wanted to spend time with like Teresa and them.
And it's like, well, bitch, you could have invited them out to like dinner or something. You didn't have to go to somebody's birthday party that in their house. Like. Yeah, it's like how just like how disrespectful.
And that's not the first time she's done that, where she'll say that she's upset or something about one thing, and when she has a conversation with another person or the second time, she'll change her reasoning as to why she's upset. Like the whole Soggy thing. First, she said she used to be made fun of as a kid. Then she brought up about the whole thing about her having a hysterectomy, and she knew of that. And then it was just a whole bunch of just mess. Yes. Like, she can never keep her story straight. So they wind up going... Well, everybody was there except for Siggy. Siggy apparently fell down the stairs, and she had to go to the hospital. Now, of course, Melissa is like, oh my God, she went to the hospital. She sure as hell. She wanted a way out, like, to not come.
Which kind of makes sense. Like, are you just trying to find a reason not to come? I mean,
let's be real. Who the fuck don't do that all the time? They, like, you get invited somewhere that you don't really want to say no, but you don't really want to go.
Right.
And it's like, oh, man, I can't come because, you know...
Heart broke down.
I ain't got no gas or gas money and blah, blah, blah. Something. Or I ain't got no babysitter if you got kids. Like, people do that all the time. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
For the hospital, it's extreme for that to be an excuse if it's not true.
Right.
But I guess there was, like, a little clip. They did film. She really did fall down the stairs.
Yeah.
She was, like, in a lot of pain. So they were like, oh, well, she's not coming. And then Margaret's like, well, cool. Like, she's not coming. I'm not going to have any drama. Her party looked fun as fuck.
It did.
The whole backyard was full of people, and it was still, like, inside in the house. So, Danielle was like, well, I feel like this is fake and phony. She's just trying to have a reason. And then Dolores is like, you're so full of it and blah, blah, blah. Dolores texts Siggy, like, hey, some of these people are talking about the fact that you have to go to the hospital and say that you're just trying to get out of the situation of coming.
Which, why?
If you are seriously injured to the point where they have to put a boot on you and gave you a sling. I
wouldn't even get upset about that, because logically, I know why you're saying it. Me and her ain't really. We don't like each other,
so of course you're going to say something like that.
Right, so it's like, okay, makes sense. B, however, I'm not injured. I have receipts. Well, I am injured.
Yeah, you are truly injured, so it's not really going to be a big deal to you, because you know you are in the hospital. You know you are in pain. You're about to get these good old perks in 2 seconds. You're not even, like, giving it a big deal or
right. And I don't even understand why Dolores would even text her. At least that night. I can understand if maybe when you went and saw her the next day or such, like, yeah, so Danielle was saying, like, you wasn't even released.
Yeah. So, I don't know what it is about Siggy, but she felt like she had to prove a point. So, with a boot on and a sling in an arm, she still goes to Margaret's party. Just because Dolores texts her, like, hey, they're pretty much talking about the fact that you fell.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, I didn't know you were coming. She's like, well, I wasn't going to come until Dolores texted me and said that you guys had something to say about me being in the hospital. And Melissa was like, well, I mean, of course, the first thing I'm going to think about is you finding out a way to get out of this party situation. She was like, well, if I didn't want to come, I wasn't going to come. And then I'm like, but you said all this time behind her back that you didn't want to go. I'm so confused.
Right.
With you.
Yeah.
Soggy woman. I don't understand her. And she was like, well, Teresa's like, and then this is once again, Teresa seems like a logical person.
Yeah.
Like when she seems like she has some wisdom or insight into something, it's kind of like, yeah, you really just don't get it, Siggy, at all. She was like, but you came to tell Margaret happy birthday, be here for her birthday. She was like, no, I didn't come here for her. I came here to be with my friends. It's like, I don't know. I will never go to an event of someone I really do not care for just because my friends are there. That's like high school shit. Yeah, that's and you guys stupid. Are 50 plus. So it was just like...
I'm like, were you going to get docked pay if you didn't show up at this event? Like, what...
I mean, she could have just stayed right the fuck at home. I'm pretty sure there's a clause in her contract saying if you have medical concerns, we're not going to trip if you don't do a certain... Did the producers
throw in like a bonus? Like, yes, you are hurt, but I mean, if you really go, well,
according to Unreal when it was on, yeah, they're like, we'll give you extra $10,000 if you can get Siggy to still go to the party injured. Sure enough, they probably talked her dumb ass into it.
Like, I'm going to prove these people wrong because I'm Siggy and I'm a fighter.
I wish you guys could see my face right now. Yeah. So Margaret's like, well, if you're not here for me or my birthday party, then you need to leave. Like, there's no reason why you need to be here. And then, like,
Dolores and them kind of got offended that she would ask her to leave. Like, she just told me, I don't care about you. I'm not friends with you. I don't care about your birthday party in my home. And then I say, well, you know what? If you don't want to be here, you can leave. What was Margaret supposed to do? Like, start crying?
She's already lucky enough that she didn't take back her invitation. She's like, well, I'm not going to be messy like that. But when she found out she wasn't going to go, then she wasn't going to go.
Right.
Point blank, period.
So
that ended. So the reunion is going to be tomorrow. Of course, Siggy says, you talk about my foyer, I'm going to talk about yours. You're really going to talk about a foyer?
Right.
So, mind you, she only blocked us from some of social media. So she has us still on Instagram. And she has this long video about how she's doing something for National Holocaust Remembrance Day. And that for anybody that knows me, that I am a daughter of a Holocaust survivor and scholar, something his name, and join me and have these printed signs say, we remember, and blah, 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 blah. So, Siggy has this thing, and mind you, I have talked to or read a lot of comments of people who actually like Siggy from last season, even into this season. If they liked, shared, retweeted, commented anything that was negative, not at her, they didn't say she's a bitch, they were blocked. Mm-hmm. And it was like, it's crazy because you'd be like, yeah, I got blocked. And you'd be like, me too. I was like, yeah, we got blocked too. And I wasn't even talking to her.
Right.
So I'm like, let me see these comments. Like, the majority of the comments were all positive.
Right.
She actually sits there and kind of comments back.
Right.
So it means she's wasting her time in her house in Jersey.
Right.
Sitting and just, oh my God, thank you so much, love. But then again, you have those comments that she missed like 2 minutes ago. It's like, you're a piece of shit, bitch. Right. And there was one person that had the middle finger emoji. It was another person that's like, you're so full of shit. Mm-hmm. No one fucking likes you. So she didn't get to those yet to delete it or whatever. But she's just so fucking fake.
Yeah.
So now the reunion, she's talking about foyers because she felt offended because apparently Marcus said something about her foyer. I don't know. Shit, y'all lucky y'all even got one. Let Jesus take that away.
Right.
See what happens. Oh, but it's just messy. Just a whole bunch of mess. But moving on.
Yes.
To Friday. What comes on Thursdays?
Nothing.
I forget.
That I know of.
I forget. There's so many shows that I have to watch every week for this podcast. So, Married to Medicine came on.
Yes.
And
your mama.
Jesus. It's a continuation of Dr. Contessa. Dr. Contessa's 90s party, where Mariah and Heavenly got into it. And of course,
it's just so funny because, like I said, if you insult my mom, yes. But if I'm arguing with somebody and they be like, your mama, for me, that's just going to make me feel like I won the argument.
Because that's all you can say.
Right, like, that's all you got. So, yeah.
It was just really, she was like, well, your mom, I mean.
And she bit her lip like, fuck. I wasn't trying to say that. Like, you could tell it was
so automatic, like word vomit for her.
Yeah, it wasn't even like I'm about to get this bitch.
Yeah, that's why it's like, for Mariah to even ask for an apology to her mom from Heavenly is kind of weird to me because she's not, it's just a reflex.
Yeah.
Like you said, like if it were to happen to us, we're just going to sit there, bitch, that's all you got? I'm not about to sit here and
just
be like.
Just to say your mama. Like,
yeah, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, you need to apologize to my mama for saying yo mama.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it didn't make any kind of sense to me. So I don't even know why she's spending so much time trying to get Heavenly to apologize for something that's so dumb in the first place.
And then, because it's like what really started it was, Heavenly did previously apologize to Mariah and her mom for her
your mama comment.
For her original comment about her mom, which started everything.
At the reunion.
Yeah, and everything seemed to should have been squashed, but then, Mariah had said in her award giving out ceremony, Toya, despite everything we've been through, you have never talked bad about my mom, which Toya kind of should have because, your mom did assault her with a purse, but we won't go there.
Right.
And it was like, that was clearly a dig at Heavenly. So even when her and Heavenly had gotten into the argument, Simone, to me, brought up a good point because she's like, you sitting here always talking about let's let everything go and let's forgive, but you don't really forgive yourself, and then you don't never apologize for the stuff that you do. You're always so ready to play the victim and everything that you don't really take account of what you said. And she'd be like, what did I say? And it's like, you've said some pretty horrible things about Jackie. Oh, yeah. You've said some pretty crazy
about
things
Simone,
about Quad.
her teeth. And...
you just always went there. And so now when you get somebody like Heavenly, who's like, I don't give a fuck, I will say what I want when I want. Now you want to play the whole, well, some stuff you just shouldn't say. I'm like, the only difference is Heavenly will shade you to your face and in the confessional.
This is true.
So
while she looking up at the ceiling.
Yeah, so it was like that whole situation would have been over, but you just took it upon yourself. And if you did feel some type of way, then when Heavenly even came to you to apologize for the comments, you should have been like, you know what, I appreciate that. However, I'm not fully there with you yet. Because that's what your mama did.
Yeah.
She was like, well, I appreciate the apology, but I'm not there yet in terms of forgiving you.
But what was her mom so upset?
I guess.
Because I forget, I know Heavenly was more in depth with your mama at the reunion. It was a lot more stuff.
Because I guess Mariah was like, you dusty, dingy this. And she was like, well, I could say the same for your mama. And then Mariah was like,
But that's the same thing. Like, if she's still responding, you just went down the list and talked about her. Yeah. She says, yo mama, and then you get upset. Yeah. She didn't
come out her mouth to say it herself.
Exactly. It wasn't like, you know what? Fuck you and your mama. I hope she rots in hell and that blah, blah, blah. She didn't do that either. Yeah. So it's like, I don't understand why they're even harboring on something that's so fucking small. Yeah. That's like me getting upset because somebody calls me fat. And it's like, you ain't got nothing better than that to say? You don't think I know?
That's all you got?
Right? Like,
as you eat a chicken wing. That's all you got? You can't do no better. Give me some ranch. You can't do no better than that.
I'm just saying, like, there's just some things that are not worth getting all worked up for and needing and wanting an apology.
Right.
One thing I can't stand about these reality TV shows is that everybody says, I need an apology. I want an apology. I don't give two shits if you give me an apology or not, to be quite honest with you.
Because I'm going to let you know, I have somebody that I used to be friends with, and they would apologize for their shit. And let me tell you, it didn't make me feel no type
it was like, different.
I still really think that you are a piece of shit. And I shouldn't be friends with you. But because you just said sorry, I should just forget about the whole everything of what you just did. And it's like, that doesn't help.
You remember what Dr. Phil says?
He says so much good shit. What did he say? He has so many gems.
He really does. I miss DVRing him from back in LA.
Right.
He was like, the best way of predicting the future is from past behavior.
Yeah, like.
So why am I going to sit here and be like, oh, well, you said sorry, so that deletes everything that you've ever done to me from my mind, and we can continue to be as friends. None of that works in real life. Like, that doesn't
Because it goes both ways in these shows. Like, for one, they'll be like, I demand an apology. It's like, for what? And then two, they will get the apology and then turn around, and when the other person think, okay, we're a clean slate, everything's good. Nope, I still hate your ass because even though you apologize, I'm not over it.
I'm still mad. So it's like, what did you need? What was the apology for?
Because if you're still mad, then it's like, well, your apology don't matter because I'm not going to be mad anymore until I'm not mad.
There have been situations like where I never wanted or required an apology, but when it was given, it wasn't because I asked for it, first of all. That, no matter if you ask for an apology, even if the apology is sincere, I don't think it is a completely sincere apology.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, like, well, I need an apology. Like, you know what? After you asking me for an apology, I really thought about it. It's like you have to wait and think about it until after I ask you for an apology.
Right.
I need you to come to that realization yourself.
Right.
And that process yourself. That's not my job to do that. If you feel like you never did any wrong, then that's you. But for me, I'm going to keep it pushing and go on my own direction. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, I can't move on because I didn't get an apology. There's been times where I finally got an apology and it was just like, yes, it felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I did not request it.
Right. It didn't change my life.
No. It's just like, okay, well, you're apologizing for X, Y, and Z. And now it's like you finally understand why I felt some type of way about the situation. Because at the time, I still told you the same thing. You didn't want to listen.
Yep.
So that's like, okay, well, now because you're coming to me with an apology, now I think you understand where I was coming from and all that. So I don't understand why it's such a big deal for people. Why it's such a big thing for people to be like, well, I need an apology for what you said. Life don't work that way. That's unrealistic expectations. And you're just going to be emotional for no damn reason. Just be like, you know what? I'm cool off you. And then the events and trips and all that will be better. Right. Because it's like, I'm not needing anything from you. Yeah. So let me go about my business. You have your friends. I have mine. We might have mutual, but it is what it is. I ain't fucking with you no more. Right. That seems easier to me.
Yeah. So simple.
So, but yeah, for your mama, it's like, it's not worth, I'm not saying Heavenly's right, but when it comes to Mariah and her mom and their peace of mind, it's not worth it.
Shouldn't matter at all.
No. Dr. Heavenly, she's still on her walk that she thinks that she's on. Right. It's just whatever. But yeah, that whole situation was ridiculous. And then Simone kind of was like, you don't own your shit. You over here talking about how you apologize, but what about us forgiving you? You don't never.
Right. You don't ever apologize for anything that you do.
No. Like, she was like, well, I did apologize. They'll do a flashback and she'll just be like, I apologize for what I did. Right. That's not an apology to me.
Or she'll be like, I have decided to forgive everyone that has wronged me.
And I hope everyone else forgives me for what I've done.
No. And I'd be the petty bitch in the group to be like, well, I'm not extending forgiveness for you to get. So
I'll cut that bridge.
You ain't getting no forgiveness over here. I volunteer as tribute to take back the forgiveness
that you think
that you are getting.
Yeah, it's like she wants everybody to be like, I'm sorry, Mariah, for doing X, Y, and Z. And then, like, for the whole thing of, like, with Quad, that's why her and Quad would never really get to a place because, I mean, don't get me wrong, got some golden lines from Mariah about her chariot not coming down. I will not come down from my chariot and throw tomatoes with you, sweetheart.
Well,
it's like, okay. But that's one of the things, is like she never really can have a full-fledged good relationship again with any other women. And honestly, Toya don't really count either because I think they already knew each other for like 10 years or something like that. So it's like, okay, well, it's easier to mend your friendships the longer that they are.
Yeah.
If a lot of stuff hadn't happened.
Yeah.
But a fight, for me,
and
I'm
your
good.
Mama jumped in. It's like, okay.
She was like, and your mama over here hit people, but it wasn't your head, though. It wasn't your head.
Oh, bitch. Yeah, they're a lot.
Yeah, Heavenly just has a thing where she involves herself in other people's stuff a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Which is where I understand where Mariah was coming from. Like, yeah, she did these things, but it had nothing to do with you. You weren't even there.
Right.
That happened season 1.
Yeah.
So this is season 6, 5 or 6. So this is a long ass time ago. They've mended or whatever.
Right.
But Mariah, everybody's telling you that shit was messy as fuck what you did at the awarding Toya with that award and say stuff about, well, I was trying to do a tribute to my mama.
What is that?
You already did that, though. You gave her shine. You gave her crown. You gave her her moment about how an awesome mom she was. Why did you have to bring up how the fact that she never said anything about your mom and Heavenly sitting right there?
Right.
And then you're making this big speech and all she said was literally, your mama.
Right.
So, I know,
it's a lot.
It was just way too much. But moving on. One of the issues I come to see, I guess, with Simone and Cecil is that Cecil took a substantial amount of money out of an account without discussing it with Simone. Like $25,000 worth. And I said, all them zeros?
Right.
I mean, that's one of the issues that they had. Apparently, he was trying to do an app. And with his job, he's so afraid of, like, getting laid off because that's kind of been the trend at his job. And he just wanted to have something where, God forbid, happens where I get laid off, I still have this thing. It's like, I mean, either way, whether it's the man or the woman who's making most of the money, you can't just go and just take $25,000 out of an account.
Right.
And then get mad because your partner got mad. Like, just not the way to go. But they talked about it because he was, like, working on it. Simone was like, oh, you working on the stuff for the app? He was like, yeah. He was like, it's kind of bittersweet for you, huh? She was like, yeah, because that's the thing that took all this money out the account without you discussing it. So I feel like they're on the right path to try to figure things out.
I'm glad they were able to talk about it and, Cecil saw where he was wrong and genuinely apologized and, they communicated. Yeah. So that was really refreshing. I don't think I could have handled another argument gone wrong between them.
No, I really like Simone and Cecil. Yeah. I think they're the longest couple, the couple that's been together the longest, 21 years now. Mm-hmm. So you don't really get a lot of people married that long these days. And then Dr. G and Quad had like a friends in marriage group thing. Yeah. Apparently traditional therapy doesn't work for them. So they just have stuff in a group setting. I don't think that it's not that therapy works for them. I feel like they listen to their friends better than a stranger.
Probably.
Especially Dr. G, because he looks like he'll just, if you ain't somebody he knows, he gives no fucks.
Or, respects. Yeah.
So, I have a little bit of like, why did you marry him, Quad? Yeah. Only because he had brought up the fact that when they were first together, he was the type of person where he didn't want to give up shit. Yeah. He was like, I worked hard for what I did. I didn't want to give nobody nothing. And it's like, well, I didn't want to be with you because of money. I wanted to be because I loved you. And it's like, well, the same thing that you noticed when you were together is the same issue that you're arguing about now in your marriage.
It didn't change.
It did not change. So I have a hard time understanding why now it's a problem when it wasn't a problem then. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make, he's like, well, yeah, I mean, I work hard for all my shit. He was like, and you didn't know that all my girlfriends, I treated you the best. She was like, well, I didn't care about your stuff. That's the part that you don't understand. And she eventually started crying and all that because he just doesn't understand that him giving up things finally doesn't mean that shows her that he cares about her. Yeah. That's not the equivalent for her. Yeah. Her is literally, hey, babe, I love you. Give me a hug. Give me a kiss. I got you flowers. You know what? I know I've been busy. We're going to do a dinner date. I've already made the reservation. I bought you an outfit. You know, something to where it's like, I know, I want to let you know that you're always on my mind on a consistent basis. Right. He doesn't get that.
Yeah. Hopefully they figure it out in soon. All right. Moving on. Back to the good old...
Jackie and Curtis.
Oh, yes, Jackie and Curtis. She let him back in the house. And... Oh, there's more to it?
No.
I mean, she gave it a lot of thought, and she definitely wasn't like a, you cheated on me, how dare you? And 2 days later, he's back. It's, you know.
Well, what I was going to say about the show is, for especially Jackie and Curtis, I feel like it's been the most adult way to handle something on reality TV. Mm-hmm. Very adult-like. No throwing stuff, no slashing tires, no bleaching clothes, no calling people bitches, no trying to find the other woman. Yeah. None of that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Yep. So, moving on to Love and Hip Hop Miami. So far, so good. I really like it. It's very entertaining. I get a lot of laughs out of good old Uncle Trick Daddy.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Between his confessional look and him just saying stuff that your old uncle say, and you look at him like, why did you just say that?
That uncle that's always at the party, like, drunk, talking about saying things in drunk parables. Like, right. You know, back in my day, we didn't have all the technology shit and text and shit. We used to talk to people, be real. That's how he is.
That's exactly how he is. Really, let's see, what happened in this episode that was funny?
A lot.
Old girl and her friend Strawberry.
And it literally, legit was spelled on the screen, Scraw. S-K-R-A-W. Berry.
Yeah. Old girl tried to make a move at gunplay. But, you know, Gunplay has a girlfriend that's been shot 3 times.
And he promised her he was going to keep his dick in his dickies.
Right. Literally. And, she tried to shoot her shot. He was like, nope, not happening. So his girlfriend and her friend, Young China, I think she said, Young China, they go check the girl at the strip club. And then the girl ends up lying. Like, I wasn't trying to come on to him, but I am trying to come on to you.
She was like, I still would have been on the table. I would have been on the table for you. How you doing? Like, she said, bitch, what? She said, go ahead, turn around, let me see all that ass. It's like, oh my God. How did this take a turn?
Yes.
She flipped that situation so bad because I bet you his girlfriend's going to look at the clip later. It's like, this bitch lied to me. She, talked about my fat ass because she didn't want to, me to beat her ass.
I'll take you to.
But that was some smart shit.
I was like, I've never seen it play out that way.
Never. Not one time.
Drinks.
No. Nah, fuck you, fuck your life, fuck your man. I'm going to take your man. None of that. She was like, fuck that. I want you, bitch.
That was funny. This good old Pretty Ricky reunited situation and good old Bucky. I know Shay, but she'll always be Bucky to me.
Yeah.
I low-key think Shay and Blue from Pretty Ricky, I could see them having something in the future because all that anger really turned out to, I think she fine as hell. Look at her making that meal and vegetables. She know how to treat a man. Meanwhile, Pleasure P, I don't really like all those vegetables. I mean, she gets an A for effort. Like, nigga, how do you not like vegetables?
Oh my God. If you guys watch it on the app, they have deleted scenes and when they watch it for the first time. So this is kind of what we're talking about. Like, baby, oh my gosh, she look good. She made look like vegetables.
But you just said she looked like she just left a crack house.
She's like, where you pick this hoe up in this crack house room? Right. Halfway house. There we go.
She was like, well, I mean, I really thought she was fine. I just said that because she was talking mess.
Right? And then you know what got me is because when P was talking to Blue, like, hey, you were kind of disrespectful. I hate when a man was like, or just a person's like, you know what? You know, I ain't even really like that, man. I just... That's the first thing that came out your mouth. It's like she's a bitch and a hoe. You know, I don't really, that's not the kind of person I am. Then why was that the first thing that you said? Like, what the fuck? That makes no sense.
Right.
But, he probably was like, well, if P don't want her, I'll take her.
Right. Yeah, and then Pleasure, he's now caught between Shay and now his ex-girlfriend who apparently left him when times got hard. And so now she's like, well... Her exact words, well, since Pretty Ricky done got back together, maybe we can get back together. Like, that's not the way it works. You don't see an ex. Well, I mean, since you got a new job, maybe we can start a new relationship. That's not how any of this works.
No.
So,
but the crazy thing was, like, the episode from last night, he was telling the guys, like, first he was like, Shay was wrong.
She do,
but I forgave her.
Right.
But then while she's making all those vegetables, he's over here meeting up her.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, well, now she wants to get back together, and I don't know what's going on with me and Bucky. Right. But she didn't do anything between that incident and you meeting up with your ex-girlfriend for you to ask yourself.
So now that you have an option, you're just risking throwing away your whole 2-year situation with Shay for an ex that had already did you wrong.
And left you. And you legit said to the world that she broke your heart and she just up and left you. And so when he was talking to the guys in last night's episode, he was like, Shay is like a real ride or die. This is why I hate the term. I cannot stand the term ride or die. I think it's the dumbest term
because you get left
of
for
all
a bitch
time.
Who ain't never even got on a bike.
Right? And it's like, but then it often leaves women just sitting there with their emotions.
Right.
And the guy not giving a fuck about your feelings.
Yep.
y'all, if anything, y'all both need to be ride or die. Yeah. But it just seems like this whole ride or die thing is only for women. Mm-hmm. The woman has to put up with his bullshit. If he gets arrested, she has to get him, bail him out of jail. If he has to go do a 5-year prison sentence, she has to be there, be faithful,
she
not fuck nobody else.
Him if he cheats,
like she has to act
accept
right.
The baby that he had with somebody else. It's just
Who gonna ride or die for what?
To where?
No, not at all. And that's the problem. So he's like, well, I really love her because she's like really ride or die. But then he was like, but my ex-girlfriend is the girlfriend that got away. Because she didn't get away. She left your ass. That's a totally, completely different thing. And then Blue over here advocating for Bucky like, well, your ex-girl left when you had nothing, but Shay has actually been there when you had nothing. So if we're still doing Pretty Ricky stuff, I know I just got in an argument with her, but I say stay with Shay. Like, she's the one that you want to be dealing with, not somebody who just came around all of a sudden because
she see Pretty Ricky got back together. Literally, those are the words that she said.
Yeah, she did.
And then Blue even said, he was like, that seems a little like groupie-ish if she just now seeing that Pretty Ricky's getting back there, so now she reaching out to you.
It's quite fishy.
Yeah.
But what else happened? Bobby Light and his boyfriend.
Yes, Bobby got a boo.
Bobby has a boo, but the boo don't like him.
And the boo got another boo.
His ex-boo. Mm-hmm. Which is the beard for... What's her name?
I forgot.
Pooch?
Yes.
Yes, and the DJ Pooch. Yeah.
Like...
Because he doesn't think he would do very well in Miami nightlife as an open gay man. But
from what I see, I don't know.
That whole situation's kind of awkward for me.
I look at the LGBTQ community from the outside looking in. But from the outside, it seems like in all professions, like, oh, okay, I know it's not fully there. Like, I know certain things. It's like, oh, if I'm gay, maybe it won't,
But if you have, like, a strong clientele already, I
don't see anybody. Especially when you're talking about your clientele is like Rihanna. I forgot who else he named. It's like, I don't see Rihanna saying.
Sidebar. Shout out to Prince for being the only person to have photographic evidence of the clientele he has actually worked with.
He said, that one, this one Puff, this one Fabulous, this one, yep.
The only person who has had proof of the people that they have worked with.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I was like, that's a first. But anyway. But I'm like, she's like, and so Pooch is like, well, what am I supposed to do when I want to start dating and everybody in town thinks that we're a couple? And it's like,
that's some real friendship, because
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
But no. Because then it's like, if I'm trying to get my business and my reputation in a certain light, and then if a guy genuinely likes me and wants to take me out on a date, and someone sees me out, they're going to assume that I'm being shady and being a bitch and cheating on you.
Yeah.
And then that makes me look like shit when you're the person lying this whole time.
That is actually very true.
So it's like, I wouldn't even want to do that, because that means I can't do anything if you want to stay undercover.
Yeah.
That's not
cool.
No, I'm not saying he did, don't be in the closet or whatever, but at the same time, your decision on what you want to do affects everybody around you.
Exactly.
When it comes to this particular situation. I'm not going to sit there and do that for you.
Yeah.
That's what we're not going to do. Get another girl. I'm not going to do it. She want to do it, fine. But then she can't be mad like, well, I can't really go out on dates and stuff because everyone thinks that we're together. Well, that's kind of your fault because you allowed it to happen.
That's your job, I guess. But
Pooch.
Yeah.
But he is actually, in the closet, not open, and he is an ex of Bobby Light's current boyfriend. He sends Bobby Light's boyfriend a DM. They meet up. And now that guy is like, oh man, I miss him. And
my ex, it's just all these feelings.
Yeah, so that's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. And then Amada's friend actually did go out on a date with Young Hollywood. Once I saw that happen, I'm like, yeah, they're not going to be friends.
Yeah, I see where this is going.
Yeah, that's like one of those people, like, why were we friends if you did something like that?
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
To me, whatever. But he tried to make it seem like Amada was taking things out of proportion. He was only trying to say, all you have to do is just be versatile in your look and try different things. He never said that.
Yeah, that's not what he said.
Just lying, and then wind up calling her ignorant. I don't even know if he knows what the definition of ignorant is. Yeah, because
it was not even the right
It wasn't even the right time, place, sentence, space to even use the word ignorant. You're just ignorant. So, remember South Park?
Oh.
You're ignorant.
Right.
You're ignorant. But it was just like, okay.
Yeah.
It just didn't make any kind of sense. Like, you're psychotic. He calls her psychotic. You and your whole African... He said Afro-Cuban, and then the friend was like, she's Dominican. Like, they can't even respect... He was like,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's so disrespectful and rude.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah. Like, go ahead and leave. And sure enough, this scene for the next episode, that so-called friend calls Amada an ungrateful bitch because Amada put them in the middle of the situation. And it's like, you can see on her face when she's in her face. I forget what her name. I think something Vega.
Yeah.
Looking like, are you serious right now? Like, is this what I'm really dealing with right now? This man pretty much tried to call me out for my blackness. And you're sitting here calling me an ungrateful bitch because you volunteered to do something for me that I didn't ask you to.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Crazy.
But nothing compares to Uncle Trick Daddy.
Oh, no. Yeah, he is the highlight of that show. For me.
Yes, it's been between the looks, the like the video looks, just him just talking with people on camera.
Right.
It's like, it reminds you of that uncle or aunt that got a new phone and they don't know how to work it. Like, what are you doing?
How do I take this self picture? What's this picture?
You mean a selfie?
Yeah.
Whatever, selfie. How do I do it? Like, I want to send your Aunt Tracy a picture. It's like,
how I find people on the Facebook.
The Facebook. Don't forget the
How I find people on the Facebook. What is this? The Twitter. How do I tweet? Do I tweet people? How do I tweet?
How do I send a tweet? It's like, you mean a tweet? Whatever, goddamn church. Just tell me how to do it.
Yes, that is him. Yes. Oh, God.
So, if you guys don't know, Trick Daddy is married to Trina's cousin.
Yes.
I have to say something about Trina. She, for all this mess that's going on between her cousin, her employees, her Trick Daddy being married to her cousin, she has to be the least messiest, like, very down earth. Yeah. I'm going to make positive decisions and tell you things about your, like, this is Trick Daddy. You telling your cousin to finish divorcing Trick Daddy, but Trick Daddy is something that you're about to do an album with.
Yeah. And
she's like, no, just end it.
You ain't happy. Y'all ain't been together for X amount of time.
Right.
End it.
And I'm like,
very cut and dry.
She's very, I'm like, okay, all right, Trina.
Black and white, yeah.
Yeah, it's very good to have all that stuff going around you. And no one's like, fuck Trina.
No.
Well, not in this show.
Right.
But, so the estranged wife pops up at his house. And fucking Dawn was there. That shit was weird. Yeah. I forgot she was a manager.
Right. I was like, oh, Trick Daddy's one of your oldest clients? Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, that was, okay, all right. Well, get your checks.
Right.
And he over on the couch like.
Just like an old man.
I'm watching the game.
This is my day off. The kids is gone. Ain't nobody in my house. I got some ribs on the grill. Like, that's exactly how he looked.
You're bothering me.
Right. And sure enough, she walked in. He landed on the couch like a slight head too. Like, who's that?
He's like, what do you want to talk about?
Right.
What are you doing here? Like, oh, we, just want to figure out what we're doing. He was like, well, you left me. He's like, and then in the confessional, he's all wailing his arms like, you come to my house and then you tell me what you want to do, but you ain't talk to me in 4 years. What am I supposed to be doing?
It was hilarious.
Bright fuchsia beanie, like knit beanie and that matching shirt
and
with
a
this
velvet blaze
blue, like. It's like, oh, it's so bright.
Trick Daddy, what are you doing? And you could tell he's one of those men that's like, I have money and I've bought you things, so you should have been happy. But clearly she's like, no, you didn't love me. And you probably was fucking around and
probably. I mean, he kind of sound a little bit like Dr. G. Like, I gave you all this stuff. I bought you a Benz. He was like, how you gonna leave somebody and you are happy, and when you left them, you still ain't happy?
Like, what do you mean she's not? So
how do you know if you haven't talked to her for 4 years?
So just because she's not with another rich man, you just assume she's not happy.
Exactly.
Like, what?
She's like, it's not a monetary thing. It's like, God damn it, it's like quad. I just hear the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
But
it was funny.
But the best part is like when you're watching the reactions on the app, and they're all reacting to certain scenes. And when it was the Gunplay's stripper ex-girlfriend and his current girlfriend, and she was like, I got what you want, I got what you need. And Trick Daddy's like, you know what? They always talk about women. Always talk about what they got what you want, and they got what you need. But then they want to cheat and then bring out the toys. I was like, Uncle, what you do about the toys?
He's such a uncle. He's such a...
He's like that uncle that's like, oh shit, here his ass come. But it's very entertaining.
It is. You always got these women who want to talk about.
He'll cheat, bring out toys. Like, what women that you had and cheated and got toys out?
And you're still mad about it.
Right, and you're mad about it.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
How long have we been?
Hour 36.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're almost there.
Yeah, okay.
But that's pretty much the highlight of that. I think the last thing we're talking about is Atlanta. I can't remember if we... What else? No.
I think we should save Atlanta for next week and just end it on the highlight of good old Vanderpump.
Yes! Oh my God! I'm such an idiot. Yes. Okay. So...
Yes.
Okay.
Since we're on an entertainment.
Fucking Vanderpump Rules was so funny. I have to say it's probably the most entertaining episode in a very long time.
Yeah, in a while.
So we're doing a continuation of the dun dun dun, the recording from Jackson Faith. Excuse me. And Lala gets a recording. We will tell you the source in a minute.
Yeah.
She gets a recording that's Jax and Faith post-coitus talking shit about Britney.
Yeah.
Now, they never play the actual thing where you can hear it. I'm pretty sure it's for legal reasons. They probably got a cease and desist or something like that. So Britney hears it. And she gets so, mind you, they're trash. It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
It was at their housewarming party.
Oh,
at Brittany and Jax's housewarming party.
Brittany and Jax had a fucking housewarming, and instead of warming the house, it just pretty much set it on fire. So, so she hears it, and she's like, oh my God, you're such a dick. I hate you. You know what? I want everyone to hear it. Just hear that he's just
he talked about you like a dog.
A dumb bitch. Like, I hate you.
Why
so
would
she
you want to
puts
replay
it
that?
on a fucking sound bar so everyone at the party can hear it.
Like, girl, that makes you sound just as bad as Jax. Because it wasn't even like, oh, she gets on my nerves. It was like, I will never marry her. I'm not trying to have no kids with her. Mm-hmm. She sucks balls.
And she tried to, and then something happened, and then they finally pulled Jax out. So you got Schwartz, Sandoval, and Jax. Yeah. And Jax is like, what's going on? He's like, come on, let's go down the hall. Let's go down the hall. And Kennedy is still in there with Ariana, Lala, Stassi, Kristen. Katie, they're all there.
Yeah.
And so she's actually gets to play it for them. And then instead of hearing it, each girl in the little confessional like talks about how he told Faith he did not like Brittany. He wasn't attracted to her. He wasn't attracted physically or sexually. He did not want to have kids with her. And he did not want to marry her. Mm-hmm. Like, these are true things. The fact that he said it sober, probably.
Yeah.
After he fucked somebody else. Mm-hmm. A black girl at that.
Pillow talking.
Right? And
it's
she
like
over here.
You're not saying that to get in her pants. You've already got in her pants. So
right. So there's not worse. It's not even necessary for you to even bring it up.
Right.
If you're trying to like get her to feel some type of way, like she has a chance.
Right.
She already gave you the chance. You just felt like you want to spill your guts to somebody that you thought wasn't going to say shit. So Ariana and Lala go next door to Katie's place because they're down the hall from Jax and Brittany. And then Ariana and Tom and Sandoval get into it because Sandoval thinks it wasn't a good time. But she's like, I'm drunk. It's not my phone and all that. And then James Kennedy walks in and he was like, oh my God, what happened? He's like, but all I know is that it was Ariana and Lala. And then he walks out the door.
Right, just clear Jax, it was Ariana and Lala.
Like, they just, So they're pissed and whatever. The next day, Jax and Brittany are in the house. And she's like, I'm cleaning. She was cleaning from the night before. Right. And he, once again, is Jax. Like, I can never blame him for what he does or says. Because all these women throughout the 6 or 7 seasons have allowed him to do whatever he does. And he's so used to it. So, mind you, they're going through all this shit because he fucked up and slipped his D in a V. And it got out. He tells Brittany he's pissed because she played the video for everyone to hear, and she promised him that it would stay between them two. And he said, you have to be responsible for your actions. I said, what? It's not my dick that went into a vagina. That was yours.
Yeah,
it was just like, oh my God, this is just getting worse and worse. And the fact that and nothing's worse than him saying this than her sticking around.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah.
And then she gets on the phone with her mom later and just talking to her mom. Her mom's like, it's real hard when people cheat on you and just, he just has to do right and blah, blah, blah. Well, you're always welcome to come back home.
That's when she said, oh, fuck no, I ain't going back to Kentucky.
No, she even said, like, I just want to be on my farm.
Okay.
I thought that was so funny. I said, farm.
Right.
But, she never took the dogs like she said she was going to do. Mm-hmm. I'm taking the dogs. I'm getting the fuck out. Nope, she never did that. So she tells, in the confessional, like, I know that things are really bad right now, but I was raised as a Christian woman, and I'm all about forgiveness.
Oh, no, bitch. You ain't gonna blame your stupidity on the good Lord, because the good book. The good Lord did not say for you to sit around and be a doormat while your man just goes and does everything in the book.
That tells you not to do in the book.
Right. So, no. And then if you really are a really good Christian, you wouldn't be having premarital sex with him anyway.
Yeah. You wouldn't be living with him. You wouldn't be having premarital sex with him.
You'd be at Bible study every Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right.
You'd
Usher
be at church every Sunday. Yeah. So don't come now, and when you need a reason to stay your ass...
You say pull the Christian card.
Yeah,
that drove me up the wall. It's like, now you want to talk about being a good Christian? And she's like, well, I know my mom has been married 4 times. And I just want to be in one relationship. Well, you can be in one marriage. That doesn't mean you have to be with one stupid, shitty-ass person. It doesn't
mean every person you get in a relationship is meant to be your husband.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you get in a relationship, you're like, you know what? you and me, we
We're
don't
not
going to
work.
Next.
Not at all. But she just feels like she believes in forgiveness. She's a Christian woman and she's going to make it work. And then she even told Jax, like, well, you got to stop talking to me the way that you do. He was like,
that's your biggest concern?
He was like, well, can you stop talking to each other like that?
It's like, you can't take responsibility for nothing.
Not
but
at all.
you know what? If he don't have to, then shit.
He
Why
doesn't.
should he?
And that's the thing. It's like, well, for him, it's like super easy. Like, I literally can fuck any girl I want, and these girls stay with me. And he's almost 40.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. So, but that's pretty much that situation.
But the hilarious part of that.
Well, yeah, I'm going to get to that. So, the next day after all of this, James Kennedy goes and meets with Lisa because he's having his Tuesday nights because she let him back into her good graces and was like, okay, I'll give you a DJ night or whatever. So he was like, so did you have it? It was, did you hear what happened last night at the housewarming? He was like, what? He said, Jax banged Faith. She was like, yeah, I heard that.
Banged is his favorite word.
It is. Not fucked, not sucked, none of that. Just banged.
Bang.
And he was like, yeah, so there was a recording. Oh, really? He was like, yeah. And then Brittany was like this. What? It was just so animated. And then Jackson's over here like this. She's like, what, doing sit-ups? He was like, no, not sit-ups. He was just really upset. And then the thing, he's like, I don't know how the recording or whatever got out. Then they go to his confessional. Now, for those of you that don't know James Kennedy, he pretty much drops bombshells in his confessions. And it's the funniest thing of all time. So James Kennedy was like, actually, the truth is I stole Faith's phone and I went into the bathroom and sent it to my phone. And that's how the audio got out. It wasn't Faith. It wasn't Lala. It was fucking James Kennedy this whole time. And I have a feeling that he was living it up with drinks and all that with Jax and trying to make him feel better what's going on. And this whole time, he had the smoking fucking gun in his phone like, all those times you thought my music was whack, all those times you tried to punch me in the face, this is what I'm going to do to you, bitch. Now you're going to get banged. Like,
oh my God. His confessionals is
that is so fucking funny. But yeah, that was, James Kennedy was like the highlight of the whole episode. It was just so funny. Oh, why don't you talk about your favorite part at the studio?
So good old Tom Sandoval. He's very superficially deep.
Yes. It is superficially deep.
So James is doing a song. He's recording and he has Lala come in and sing the hook. So she goes and she sings the hook. And then out of nowhere, I just hear Tom Sandoval, when I play my trumpet, like, wait, what? You have a trumpet? It takes me to another place and it allows me to reveal parts of myself that I can be a real vulnerable person. And then it's just, they show him just, first off, he can't play for shit. It's like,
he was blowing in that thing like it was the way he, and red. I used to play band. I used to play the clarinet. So it's like, I see him, I'm like, you don't know what you're doing. Like, this is not, you should not be straining that much in your lips.
His face was turning red. His eyes were watering.
And he was like,
I'm convinced production paid him to be like, come in and just do some stuff. And he was just like, woo.
And he was like, wait, one second. He's like, yeah.
It is so bad. It was like, wait, what?
He was like, when I play my trumpet, it just makes me feel so good. It was so funny.
Right.
But Sheena. You want to talk about Sheena? Sheena is
this dense girl. So pretty.
I saw an article
stupid.
today saying she's claiming that her and her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend aren't together because of the show.
But you are the one that was bringing him in the spotlight on the show. Nobody was in your business. Nobody was treating you like Lala last season, trying to find out if your boyfriend is a married man.
Right.
Like, that's all you talk about.
Right.
So
I'm just so happy. I'm with the love of my life. This is the happiest I've been in years.
Divorced. I wonder, did Kim K say that when she divorced Chris Humphries and then got with Kanye? It's the love of my life. Like,
probably.
But girl, 2 months ago.
Yeah, legit 2 months ago, and you're like with Kanye already.
Right.
But she's like, the rumor was that he went to Toca Madera, which is I want to say it's a tapas place or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he dated a waitress that worked there, and allegedly he went up to her and like hugged her and spun around, like kissed her. Now there's a dispute whether it's on the cheek or the mouth.
Right, because at first she was saying it never happened at all.
And then, so when Kristen told Sheena was like, yeah, that's not true. She even said that she had told her boyfriend about it, and they were like doing laughing emojis towards each other on like text messages and stuff. I'm like, okay, you say you trust your man, then you trust your man. If you did, why do you have to consistently bring it up all the time and then make it seem to Sandoval that other people are bringing it up all the time? And Sandoval was like, well, yeah, I bring it up all the time. Yeah.
like no one cares.
Yeah. So she goes out of her way to talk to, I think her name was Jen, because the girl that he allegedly kissed is her friend, and that she also works at Toca Madera, including two
waitressing jobs.
Now,
okay, she probably, oh God, just the fact of 2 jobs.
Yeah, I know. So she pretty much tells him like, well, that's my really good friend. I really want to get like too much. She's like, I know, but she's like, I literally won't talk about it again. Lies. That's not true.
Yeah.
And she tells her pretty much the exact same thing Kristen she said that Jen said the same thing her boyfriend told her.
Right.
That she went up, hugged her, and kissed her. She's like, kissed her on the mouth. He's like, well, he told me that he kissed her on the cheek. And it's like, why is he going up and hugging her in the first place?
Right.
If it's an ex, like, there's just certain boundaries that you will have if you have no feelings for that person. You can be around your ex. Shit, I'm going to be around my exes. If I don't have any care in the world for you, I'm not going to text you. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to initiate any type of deep conversations or ask how your life has been.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not, I don't need to know any of that. So she's just like, oh, well, this conversation is done. Problem solved. Or where she said something solved. I'm like, no, you didn't find out anything. You
like, okay, problem solved, but the jury thinks that motherfucker is guilty. Like, I don't know what court case you're sitting in, but in the case of your man, he did whatever she say he did. He did that shit.
Oh my God. But yeah, it's just like, she just makes absolutely no sense. Yeah. But it was all in all a pretty funny episode between James Kennedy and Sandoval's trumpet. It was just pretty damn funny. So we'll see what's going on next week.
Yes.
And all that. And before we end, condolences to Jill Zarin from Real Housewives of New York and the passing of Bobby. They just had the funeral, I think, yesterday.
Really sad.
Yeah, he lost his battle with cancer. So it's really sad. And a lot of the housewives are there. I think they already have started to record season 10. So I think it might be on camera. And Bethany was there. It was like photographs of them, like her crying and like hugging Jill and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of those things like you don't know what's really important or what's more important until something like that happens. Mm-hmm. And she tweeted like the reason why the producers went to Bethany was because of Bobby. So she felt like Bobby's the reason why she's at this place in her life when it comes to the show and stuff. So Yeah, but I mean, that was pretty much this week of reality TV.
Very entertaining.
It was very entertaining. The tops of this week was Catfish Girl, James Kennedy, Sandoval Trumpet, and Uncle Trick Daddy.
Yeah, definitely.
Those are the highlights of our week.
Down. And an honorable mention of Miss Juicy.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
Yeah. Top 5.
Can't forget about them sprinkle babies. Right. But anyway, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. So you can go ahead and subscribe to us on there. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, RealiTEA-V. We also have an email, RealiTEA-V@gmail.com.
I'm going to learn all these handles by heart, people.
It's not that different.
Yes.
Facebook and email's the same, and then Twitter and Instagram are the same.
Yes.
So that's pretty much how I have to.
But you can find us.
Right? You can find me personally at Funmi and B on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm also on Facebook. Still haven't made my handle. Where can I find you, B?
You can find me on Facebook, Roberta Smith. You can find me on Instagram, Leave It to Be, and Leave It to Be Living, following my little lifestyle blog. So send us your emails.
Your T-mails. We're still trying to do this giveaway, you guys, so we have to reach 350 followers on Instagram. So please tag 3 of your friends on the last 3 pictures on our Instagram and have other people follow us. Once we get to 350 followers, we will give you instructions on how to enter the drawing to get the prize. So
yes, it's a good prize.
We fluctuate, but we could be there really by the end of the week, really, if we wanted to. So we might start doing some lives a little bit for especially reunion time. It's coming up with Jersey, so we might be doing a live with that. And so I'm Funmi.
I'm B.
And tune in next week.
Bye.